Hey, Whippersnappers, this is Tortimer the Great. Welcome back to another exciting installment of our 1,000 subscribers special Q&A. Today, we are going to be taking on your gaming-related questions. And I figured we'd jump on Pokemon Showdown, do some random battles, or maybe we'll jump into a tier at some point and do some other things. But I figured, why not? Let's just jump in here and do it. So you guys had a number of questions related to gaming. Let's see. Let's do Sucker Punch. Take that, looky. Looky is such an ugly Pokemon. So yeah, you guys, we've already talked about your questions relating to the channel, and then we did all of your personal questions, and now we've got some questions that you guys had just relating to plain old video gaming. And I know that this has been an extremely long Q&A. I think this is segment number 5? Oh, Embor, hold on. Hit it! Yes! I think this is segment number 5, but I promise this is the second to last one. We're going to talk about gaming questions today, as I said, and then you guys had a handful of just totally random questions, which we'll probably jump in with next time. Let's get easy out here. Let's just jump right into it, alright guys? Thank you guys for joining me for the 5th installment, by the way. So, from Willow a Bite, we get the question, what got you into gaming? And that's a pretty easy one for me. I grew up gaming, pretty much from the very beginning. I had an older brother, so I've got 2 brothers. Klungar is my older brother, and he is 3 years older than me, and he was really the one in our family who was like the gamer. Like, he was the older one, so he was the one that my parents bought the NES for, and stuff for Christmas and things like that. So, like, you know, I kind of got into it as a byproduct of the fact that my brother was a big gamer, and we would always play together and things like that. My younger brother was never really much of a gamer. I mean, he would get things because we had them. So, like, I think he had Pokemon Yellow because my brother and I were playing Red and Blue, but he was never really like a huge gamer person until like. Well, really until like high school, I guess. He started playing like some of like the COD and things like that. But previous to that, he hadn't done a bunch. But yeah, my older brother was really a big gaming person, and so I kind of got into it as a byproduct of that. And we would play games together, and you know, we shared like you guys probably don't. Nobody probably even remembers this, but before like so the Sega Game Gear was way ahead of its time. It was Sega's handheld console. I think back like Game Boy Color days, the Sega Game Gear was essentially a Game Boy Advanced. I mean, all of its games were in color, or like vibrant color. I mean, it was essentially Game Boy Advance quality, but during okay, so this guy forfeited. But during a time when yeah, like the Game Boy Color was out, so it was really advanced. It was much bigger, but the Game Gear was really cool. And so so we had that, and then we each, you know, we had our Game Boy Colors when I think Pokemon is really why I got a Game Boy. When that first came out, I was losing to Blaziken. Yeah, so I think that's really kind of where things started. We had the NES. And then we didn't have a Super NES. We then had a Sega Genesis, and then you know, we just kind of snowballed from there. And so it was a you know, great growing up. We always, you know, we were fortunate enough to be able to afford some of these gaming systems and things like that. So that was not for the sword dance. I don't know. Most of our team is weak to this Blaziken, so I don't know that we're gonna do very well. But yeah, so just growing up, mainly my older brother, he was the main influence, and we would game together, and he always beat me. He was always much better at it than I was. Even today, I've always been more of a casual gamer than like a really hardcore competitive sort of gamer. And so it's the sort of thing where I just kind of I do it for fun, and so that's how it kind of came about. But yeah, so just grew up with the video games. We kind of were at the right age that these kind of home console systems were coming out as we were as we were growing up, and so we were able to kind of go along for the ride. Alright, so Pelkey is Water Dragon. But yeah, so there we go. Thank God for Rain Dance. Alright, so then Scadroll asks, what games do you play for fun, i.e. not for YouTube? It's a complicated question. The reality of it is, I don't have time to play game. Like, if I'm not playing to record, I'm probably not playing video games. Like, I'm either recording or I'm preparing to record, or I'm doing real life stuff. I really, generally speaking, don't have a lot of time to do like other gaming. It takes up a lot of my time to keep videos coming out almost every day, and so it's it's definitely a huge time commitment, and it takes away pretty much all of my just fun gaming time, which is why I'm pretty stringent on the fact that I'm only going to play games that I actually enjoy. So people, well, we'll get to that, but like I only play games on my channel that I actually enjoy because it's really the only games I get to play for the most part. And so I do occasionally, like if some of my friends decide, like some of my real life friends from like college and stuff decide, hey, we're gonna get on Steam and we're gonna play, well, sometimes we play You Don't Know Jack, or there's this great game, if you're a huge nerd, like me and my friends are, there's this great game called Artemis, and Artemis is a, essentially if you've ever watched any of like the Star Trek TV shows, it's essentially, you're the bridge crew of, a starship, and you're flying around doing all this other stuff. It's so much fun, but it's very, very nerdy. And so sometimes we play that, like, once a month or whatever, we'll have a game night together and we'll do something. Or, really, it ends up these days, mainly just since I got my new phone, about a month ago, I've been I've been playing more mobile games, like, so I got my phone about a month ago, so it was after I saw the Jurassic World movie, but the Jurassic World mobile game is actually a lot of fun. So I've been playing a lot of that lately, just in my random downtime moments, and so that's been pretty fun. But other than that, like I sold my consoles. I sold my Xbox 360 because pretty much anything that can be on anything that's available on the Xbox is also available on PC. So there's really no reason to have an Xbox at that point. I do have a PS3 that I'm hoping to do some recording with at some point if I can ever save up enough money to buy a capture device for it. Oh, that was a bad idea. Go Goat! Didn't even die. Come on, Big Tinny. But yeah, so I don't really get to do any PC gaming outside of recording either. It's just it eats up a lot of time, which is one of its downsides. But I get to game as part of YouTube, so it is what it is. But yeah, so not a ton of time, but sometimes mobile, and then occasionally I'll get on Steam and do some stuff with some of my friends there. But other than that, not a ton for sure. Okay, so then that one was from Scat. I think I said Gaming Bear asked. Well, he asked a ton of different. He asked, would you consider playing? And then I just put X game. I get this question a lot from random people, on, a certain series or whatever. People will be like, hey, can you play this game, or, and I don't even remember which games Gaming Bear asked about, but, he asked about 4 or 5 games, I think. And so, this isn't directed at Gaming Bear, but at more just, like, everybody. I don't have time, like, I appreciate suggestions, and I keep making them, because if at some point something, sounds interesting, we may do something with that. But realistically, kind of to Scad's question, I put videos out every day of the week. Every day of the week, pretty much, except for Sundays, usually. Well, during the regular year, we were even putting stuff out on Sundays. But, so the fact of the matter is, with that, and with keeping in mind that I don't even have time to do regular gaming anymore, I wouldn't expect too much movement on a request, can you play X game, because I just don't have the time. I already have, like, I already have my schedule almost completely full. I'm not going to add more unless unless I really have a need to. Oh, Ninjask froze. That's disappointing. So realistically, the answer to that question is almost always going to be no. Just because I already have way too many series going on at the moment as it is, and people are already. They're already not real. Like, I already put out episodes for each series less frequently than people would like, because I only put out episodes once a week. Each series updates once a week, but people are always telling me, oh, I'd love to see this come out more frequently. And so I can't add more series. Like, people are already upset with how infrequent my stuff comes out. Yeah, I definitely can't add more to the mix, because then we'll never get anything out. So, yeah, I mean, pretty much, just generally speaking, the answer to can you play this game is going to almost always be no. There are certainly probably instances where that won't be the case, where I might have an opening, or I've been thinking about playing a game at some point or something, and it just kind of melds and works out. But generally speaking, you know, it's not gonna work out real well in that case. So sorry, but I just don't have the time. I just don't have the time, unfortunately. You know, we've got some new games. I'm always trying to add new games, you know, to my schedule as we go through things. So hopefully you guys will enjoy the content that's already coming out. And you guys can just enjoy watching that, and maybe find somebody else if there's a specific game you want to see that I'm not able to play. Maybe you can check that out. But yeah, the next question comes from Scad again, Scadroll, and he asks, "Do you play any trading card games, i.e., Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone or anything like that?" And the answer to that is no. Well, no, it's a qualified no. So I don't really. My older brother, was really into Magic the Gathering. When we were younger, and he did a lot of that. And we played the first generation of the Pokemon trading card game. That was a lot of fun. It was pretty much even, like, I feel like Gen 2 came out, but I don't think we even played it beyond like Gen 2. It was pretty much you know, a pretty short-lived thing for us, and we had the Pokemon Trading Card Game Boy Color game, which was a lot of fun and all that, but realistically, it was just I can make it evolve here. It's gonna be let's try Fire Blast, I guess. Oh darn it! But yeah, realistically, I haven't played a trading card game in a very long time, except for. As part of the Jurassic World mobile game, they had it's one of those free-to-play, but you can pay like in-game, in-app purchases or whatever, which I refuse to do. So like, there's all these ways you can get free like currency and things like that. Like, oh, you can watch this ad or play this game or, you know, whichever. And so there was one instance where I could get like a big chunk of currency by downloading the Hearthstone app and playing through the tutorial of that. And so I did do that at one point. And that was fun. I haven't really gotten into it a ton. I have picked it up since then, and it was oh, we actually won this one. That's exciting. GG. I have picked it up since then, but I haven't really gotten real into it yet. But it seems like it could be fun. I'm going to keep it on my phone. I haven't deleted it like I deleted most of the other apps, so it could be interesting. But yeah, no, not really. But we were really into the Pokemon trading card game back in the day. And so that was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I never really did Magic. My brother did. We did play Yu-Gi-Oh! My brothers and I did play the Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards for a while there too, but not in a very long time have I played a trading card game. Let's do some Little Cup. Where's my priority Squirtle Squad? Why not? Okay, there we go. Rias Grimaray, again, Rias, I apologize if I've been slaughtering your name this entire time. He asked, did you ever play Call of Duty? Yeah, okay, so I have played Call of Duty before. I've played the game Call of Duty. or games in the Call of Duty series. I have done that. I've never owned a Call of Duty game for any of the consoles that I've had. My younger brother was really into that, and so I've played with him before. And I've played, one of my roommates in college had it, and so we played through that as well, I think. And so we did do that, or I have played the game, but I was never like a big COD guy. Shooters are not really my type of game, so much. I mean, I've played games like, you know, I mentioned in one of the previous ones how I really enjoy the Mass Effect series, which, you know, there is shooting components to it. I mean, that's a shooter, but it's more of a story-based driven shooter than just like, oh, you get dropped into this map to shoot things up. Like, that's not really my type of game as much. Like, I loved GoldenEye and stuff back in the day. I mean, I've played shooters, but this Call of Duty franchise has never really been that attractive to me. Yeah, I've played the game, but I was never like, you know, one of these guys on there screaming and yelling, and like, I don't know if I ever even played like online multiplayer. I would always just play with like friends. But yeah, no, I mean, I have played the game, but I never like played COD. Yeah, thanks for the question. The next question comes from Trico Gaming 18, Green No 3, and Demka Belikov. And those three people wanted to know what my favorite Pokemon was. Okay, we got our rocks up. Awesome. Let's go for the earthquake. And they wanted to know what my favorite Pokemon was, and so I'm gonna go into that. We'll talk about it. Realistically, I have two Pokemon that I would consider my favorite. It's just by nature of you know, my long time playing Pokemon. I've been playing Pokemon, like I said. I got my Game Boy Color when Pokemon came out, like originally came to America, and so. Definitely, you know, I've been playing for a long time, and so my tastes have changed slightly over the time, as well as just, you know, getting exposed to different Pokemon in different ways, especially since I've like started doing the Pokemon Showdown stuff like we're doing today. It's really exposed me to some new Pokemon in different ways, Pokemon that I never would have really gotten a chance to use previously, and so that's been a lot of fun. That Kabuto's gonna come out in Rapid Spin, isn't he? Kabuto can Rapid Spin, I think. But yeah, so today, I would have to say that Squirtle and Aipom are my favorite Pokemon. I like a lot of Pokemon, and so they're not the only Pokemon that I really like, but they're pretty much tied for first at this point. And if not first, Squirtle, I think, because of nostalgia and the fact that he's a turtle, takes a slight edge. I mean, he's been my favorite Pokemon forever. He is the guy that I've always kind of gone back on, because he was the first Pokemon I ever had. You know, I got Pokemon Red when it came to America, and I, you know, started with Squirtle, and so. It's just kind of always been, you know, that way for land. Yes. Squirtle's always been there, and then since I started doing Showdown stuff, you know, I liked Aipom and his appearances in the anime that I remember watching, but really it was when I started doing Showdown stuff and I started using Aipom for Little Cup that I really got into it. And so, yeah, Squirtle and Aipom are probably my favorite Pokemon, but there's like, I love Torterra, and, you know, Nidoking, Snorlax, Heracross, Umbreon. There's so many great Pokemon that I love, and it's just kind of, those two just kind of float to the top there. But there's so many great Pokemon. I mean, there's like 700 of them or now or whatever, so definitely, you know, sometimes difficult to pick out a favorite, but those two make it kind of easy. Then it's along a, well, not a similar vein, but then the Espresso Cast asks, what is your least favorite Pokemon? And, you know, again, there's 700 of them. I have a fair bit of these. My favorite my least favorite Pokemon, if I had to pick one, would probably be Vanillux. Since the moment they like started leaking or releasing Pokemon for Gen 5, and I saw the Vanillux line, I was so mad. Like, there are lazy Pokemon in every single generation. I'm not going to say that there's not. I'm not a Gen 1er who thinks, oh, all Gen 1 Pokemon are great. I mean, some of them, Voltorb is obviously brilliant. I mean, there's nostalgia attached to some of these guys, though, so I mean, it makes it a little bit more easier to swallow. But, yeah, it's just sort of really bad. Vanillix is probably my least favorite Pokemon. But there's actually, unfortunately, I try not to be, like, super, like... I don't know, like, biased against Gen 5, but so many of my least favorite Pokemon come out of that generation. Like, the Gothiel line, I hate that Pokemon. God, there's so many. The Garbodor line, Trubbish is kind of cute, I guess, but Garbodor is a horrible monstrosity that should have never existed. And so, I mean, there are Pokemon I don't like in every generation. Like, for Gen 1, I hate Seeking. Seeking is, like, the stupidest Pokemon. It's just a big fish. It's not even good. It's like, I don't know, I just hate Seeking. I had a Goldeen in the Little Lock, but other than that, like, yeah, no, critical. I don't know what would matter. Blip probably would have died there anyway. So, yeah, it's, a lot of Pokemon I don't like. Again, there's 700 of them. You're not going to be able to please everybody with every single creation. But yeah, probably Vanillix and some of those other Gen 5 Pokemon are really the ones that irk me the most. Darn it, Drillbur, just die. Oh, good girl, baby. There we go. Okay, so then, Espresso Ken also asked, what is your favorite Pokemon champion? Quick answer to that is Red. None of the other Pokemon champions have ever really resonated with me a whole lot. You know, it's just, like people really love Cynthia or N or whatever. I've never really gotten that. Red has always kind of been my favorite. And so, yeah, Red would be the answer I've got to give. He's definitely probably my favorite there. So there we go, Red, and we'll move on because we're going long again. Gosh darn it. Then the Espresso Cat and Scat also asked another quick, easy to answer one. Well, we lost that one. GG. They asked, what is your favorite Pokemon movie? And I'm gonna have to be honest with you guys. This one was really easy to answer because I don't know that I even remember any Pokemon movie besides the first one, Mewtwo Strikes Back, which is the one where Mewtwo kind of captures all these Pokemon and makes clones of them, and then they kind of do their, you know, their whole battling. Every Pokemon has to battle its clone and things like that. He takes a bunch of trainers hostage and steals their Pokemon, etc. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I saw it when I was a kid, and so it, you know, darn it, Doyle. Well, Doyle rules. But yeah, Mewtwo Strikes Back is honestly the only one I can even remember. If, you know, so, yeah, there it is. So, yeah, Mewtwo Strikes Back. That's probably my favorite Pokemon movie because it's the only one I can even think of. Alright, so then the Espresso Can asked, if you were a gym leader, what type and in what order, like the first or last gym leader, would you be? And this answer has probably changed since, like, I don't know, I started doing YouTube, but really, probably for me, I loved my time on Decimon and that ground gym I put together so much, and so many of my favorite Pokemon are ground types. So, like, Gliscor is one of my absolute favorites, Torterra, Nidoking, Swampert's great. I mean, there's so many of my absolute favorites are ground types that it makes it pretty easy for me to say, you know, I would like to be a ground type gym leader. And so, yeah, definitely probably ground type. And I think, you know, I loved my gym on Decimon, like I said, so much that I really think I probably would want to be like the last gym leader, probably like the 8th gym leader, just because I would want to have that higher level, more powerful team. Even, you know, either the last gym leader or I'd really want to be a member of the Elite Four. Just because I really think that that would be a good place for a team of that caliber. It was really, I love that team, and so yeah, probably one of those guys there. All right, so Venusaur Rage then asked a really good question. Would you rather play Minecraft forever or play Pokemon forever? And if you chose one, the other one never existed, which is a huge responsibility. But in the end, I really thought about it, and in the end, I had to go Pokemon. It almost wasn't even a contest at that point, because I just, like I said, growing up, I was you know, a kid growing up playing video games when Pokemon first came out. So for me, if Pokemon never existed, I might not even be gaming at all today. I might not have even ever played Minecraft, because Pokemon developed so much of my childhood. So much, I mean, so watching the anime, you know, Pokemon figures, Pokemon trading cards, all the Pokemon games, the movie, all of that. So much of it was crafted by Pokemon that, yeah, I couldn't even possibly have considered making Pokemon never existed, because I have no idea where I would be with my life today. Which is, it sounds terrible, but it's true. I don't know where I would be without Pokemon. So, and it's such a great game. I'm still playing it 16 years later, and you know, Minecraft is one of those games where, you know, yeah, you can keep playing it over and over and over and over again, all these different mods and everything like that. But even in Minecraft, one of my favorite mods is Pixelmon. But if Pokemon never existed, then that doesn't exist, and so I probably wouldn't be playing Minecraft today anymore anyway, because like I got kind of tired of vanilla and I started playing Pixelmon, and then I got into some of these other mods and stuff. Pixelmon was my first experience with modded Minecraft. So yeah, I mean, it's just sort of a thing. I had to go Pokemon. I mean, it's still a thriving franchise, and honestly, I think Pokemon will probably be going longer than Minecraft will, if I had to guess. So yeah, definitely got to go Pokemon with that question. Although it's tough, because I love both of those games so much. Okay, then Rias asked, which is your favorite Minecraft server? And I'm only on two Minecraft servers right now, TimeShot and Pixelmon XO. And I think that it's so hard to choose. You know, I probably really enjoy TimeShot right now, because it's a really active, like, thriving community of recorders, as well as a great community of, you know, just like community of like viewers and stuff like that. And so I get a lot of, you know, engagement with people through that series. Whereas like on Pixelmon XO, I've got a lot of great friends over there. But like the series that I'm doing on that is like, we don't get as, like, it's one of my lower viewed series, things like that. So that's difficult for me to really do a lot with. So probably TimeShot, and or if I can retroactively say, I guess, yes, he can't break the mold. Okay, so we'll go dead. Well, we'll die. Okay, Fumesy's dead. That's unfortunate. I'm gonna bring in Sylar. We've got Energy Ball. Yes. And do we outspeed 19? No, Diglett's 20, but that's... We've got this... No, we've got Life Orb. Life Orb Sylar. Whoops. Should have put a sash on him. I was trying something new with him, but yeah, that didn't work out very well. But yeah, if I could do retroactively, probably the early days of Decimon was probably my favorite server experience ever, so I might say that as well. But yeah, probably one of those two. Alright, so we're gonna go the knockoff route. Worrying about the Lilip switch in. Diglets are such glass cannons that you don't even really need a super effective move. Okay, so then Rice also asked, what is your favorite Minecraft minigame? I say realistically in these Q&A. I don't know why. I never say that in real life. I don't know why I keep saying that. Yeah, we lost another one. Gosh darn it. I'm spending too much time answering questions instead of battling. Let's go back to random battles. So, actually, cancel. Let's go... What tier? Let's do OU. I put together a team I put together a team for... I don't know. We'll just do random battles. I wanted to use... I have my ground gym team built in here somewhere, I think. But we'll do something else. I'll do that for an episode at another point. That's not a great matchup. Let's bring in Deoxys. So my favorite Minecraft minigame, I don't play a lot of Minecraft minigames. I've been doing a lot more recently because Time Shot, they're always doing collabs together with that kind of stuff. And so really that was kind of my first foray into minigames in a long time. But I've been on Hypixel and done survival games and things like that before. Oh wait, cancel, I can't do that. We'll do that. I use Toxic, but Lucaria is a Steel type. But lately I've been doing a lot of build battle, and I love building in Minecraft, and so that's been a lot of fun, getting to play lots of random things. And it's kind of convenient that it also is the hot new minigame right now that everybody's playing. So it's worked out pretty well. Darn it, stupid Espeon with your awesome abilities. So yeah, probably at the moment build battle, although somebody was telling me there's like a Mario Kart sort of thing now that sounds kind of interesting. So I'm pretty actually interested in trying that out at some point. But yeah, for right now, probably have to say build battle. And then the last question of the day from Aaron Cerise, she asked, what is something you've always wanted to build in Minecraft but feel unable/ill-equipped to make? And I don't have any like specific responses to that. There's no like, there's nothing like, Espeon with the dazzling gleam. There's no like specific thing that I'm like, oh man, I wish I could make that, but I'm not able to. But so nothing real specific to answer that. But for me, the just like being on Time Shot, all these people are such amazing builders, and they're all so big and epic, and like you see people who do these giant, just epic, massively detailed builds. And that's something I'd really love to be able to do at some point. I don't have the time for it, and I don't know if I have the skill for it, but it's something like, I usually do pretty smaller scale. My builds aren't real intricate and like really like all these fine little details and things like that. I do as well as I can, but mine are by no means like masterpieces like that. And so there's these giant epic builds that you see people doing. I love looking at that kind of stuff. It's amazing, but I would never, I'd never have like the vision or the ability or the time to build something like that. It's just beyond me how these people do some of this awesome stuff. So yeah. So there we go, guys. That is all the questions that you guys submitted related to gaming. And battles haven't been going too well because I haven't been paying close enough attention with all the questions and everything, but yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I think for the random questions, I was going to do them both on here, but I decided because the other sections were so long, and thankfully I did, because this sections ended up being really long too, that I was going to split the random and gaming sections up. And so I was going to do them both here, but I think I'll probably jump over on Hypixel and do build battles or something like that instead. But yeah, so this is the second last installment. Thank you guys so much for your questions, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this particular segment, listening to gaming stuff. Not sure why I switched in Tauros. Tauros is dead. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Tortimer the Great, and you guys have been great. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.